Good evening everyone and welcome to the stream for the very first Division 2 race in F1 Total. We are here at the Bahrain International Circuit for the Bahrain Grand Prix, round 1 of Season 10. And I think we're in for a very exciting race. I am being joined by KartRacer22 today.
Hello there, folks.
Yeah, we're both looking forward to the race. I think
I
it
really
should,
do, as it's the opening round of the season. First time we have a Div 2 in F1 Total Zone.
yeah, a lot of new drivers of course as well in this division. I mean, too many to even name all of them. So those could be ones to look out for. Of course, a few drivers that we know from last season that we've seen race that we somewhat know the performance level of. Although, of course, those guys will now be fighting for the top places instead of the lower points, which is, of course, a different mindset you have to be in, a different way to go racing. So that could be difficult for them to adjust to.
And, not to mention, we are on crossplay for the first time.
Yeah, of course. First crossplay race in F1 Total as well. Hopefully it all goes smoothly. We do know crossplay is well, a bit of a mess on this game, sadly. When anything goes right, it's just about playable. Just about. But as soon as something does go wrong, you are definitely in trouble with crossplay. So we just have to hope that it all goes smoothly. I can see the two Red Bulls already out the pits, so we'll have the first laps in Division 2 being set by those two. Those being Man and Yoshi UK. Actually, we've got two more cars ahead of Yoshi as well, a Haas and an Aston Martin. That'd be George and Face Forwards. So, well, yeah, quite a few new drivers already out on track. And I can't wait to see how they will perform. I'm predicting times somewhere in the 28s.
Yeah, probably low 28s, I think.
Low 28s? I would have said like mid to high even 28s.
Mid high? Oh, alright.
Yeah, based on what the guys were doing in time trial, they were trying to break into 28s. Some of them were in the 28s.
So I know for sure that a good friend of mine, Jules Valentine, who has joined us racing here today in the Alpine, did a 29.1 on his only run in qualifying some half an hour ago. So maybe he can prove himself and get into the 29s and maybe even get pole position.
Yeah, he's a driver we know has. I mean, he does have great pace. What lets him down, of course, is his consistency at times. But if you can keep that on track, if he can improve on that front, I think he could be one for the very top positions in this division. I mean, of course, way too early to tell. Many of these drivers, I have no idea who they are. I've never seen them race, so they could really put out something, and I wouldn't be able to predict that at all.
Yeah, the new guys can. One of them could be an underdog, which obviously could dominate this division, or yeah, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully no domination. I think.
Hopefully not. Yes.
I mean, I have like a list of like 5-10 drivers or something who I do know that I think have the ability to be right in the front in this division. Although I think maybe that is because I only see these guys when they do well. If they don't do well, I won't be racing against them because I'm further up the front in the leagues that I'm racing with them. So maybe that makes it difficult for me to differentiate their skill level.
And the first guy I'm watching is Yoshi UK, which did a pretty good Sector 2. Well, he is in Sector 2, but so far it looks very, very good, very clean.
Yeah, I'm currently on board with Face Forwards, and I can see this. I mean, he looks clean. He's taking a bit less speed into the corner than you would normally see, but of course, it's to be expected that these drivers don't take the perfect lines. Now, Dia is open to the line, 1:28.9. Okay, first lap in the session.
Already.
We're already in 28s. Let's see what Joshi can answer if he can beat that lap time. 30.3 from George. And Yoshi with a 30.4, so Face Forwards there with a very strong lap time. Man 29.6. And then Taranta 29.2. And there we go, KSA 28.5. He is one of the drivers that I had in mind before the race, that he could pull out something special.
Yeah, he is definitely one of the guys to look out for, as he proved himself last season. Or was it maybe? It was last season where he did or get a podium.
Yeah, I mean, there's quite a few people here who got results last season where you would think they should probably be in Division 1. Thinking Menace Man, who won 2 races in fact. Pixel as well had a few podiums, I think 2 podiums in a row even. So yeah, I think some of these drivers could show some really strong performances. Oh, we've got the first DNF down at turn 8. We've got Ivek, who has crashed out. Gone bottom PC and you can see him on the left hand side there in the wall. So I think he might have just dropped it on the exit of turn 7, taking too much curb maybe on the outside. It's a very common mistake to make. You see it quite often. Yeah, that outside curb is really brutal if you take too much of it. Just sends you straight into the barrier.
Really is unforgiving, this track. With these curbs and yeah, the overall layout is very technical. It's very difficult to drive, to get the perfect lap in.
Yeah, especially turn 10. It's a really difficult corner. We just saw Marcelio go through it. Especially if you're not running ABS, which I'm not sure how many of these people do. I imagine quite a few of the drivers do use ABS, but even if you do, I think it's still a very difficult corner to get right. As the yeah, the downhill braking while turning into the corner, just you have to time it perfectly. Interesting also how close it is right now from P3 to P6, P7 even, PC really not far behind either. Could be looking at a very close qualifying here from those places.
Yeah, it's actually pretty close so far, and we're not far into the session.
Yeah, about well, not quite halfway through. 11 minutes to go. First laps have been done by most drivers now. We've only got 3 drivers now at lap times. Those being Rico, SK, Gorman Cup, and Pixel, who I think they go all on track at some point, so they must have invalidated their lap times. Rico is now actually starting his lap time, so we'll see if he can put himself far up the grid. I mean, I should somewhat know what these guys are at in terms of their pace, because they've all submitted time trial times to get placed in the league, so I could evaluate when they are Div 1 or Div 2 pace, but I have to admit I don't really have the time trial times for everyone in mind. What I'm seeing from Rico here is very interesting. This looks actually like a really strong lap up until now. Bit of a slide there, but you can see the gears he's using. He's short drifting aggressively, which is something you don't see very often from other drivers in this division, I think. Although now exiting turn 10, a bit of wheel spin on the exit, so he is struggling on traction somewhat. Can see the braking boards
so far, yeah.
at turn 11 have been mostly destroyed. Only the 50-meter board left.
As he does the fastest second sector.
Yeah, I mean, this looks like a very strong lap time from Rico SK. Can he maybe even beat KSA to pole position here? I'm not sure what KSA sector times were. Of course, the purple sectors in this game do sometimes lie to people. But I think this was a very good lap from Rico. 28 for sure? Not quite! 29.1 actually. But yeah, 3rd place for the Alfa Romeo driver.
As I have to say, he lifts before the line. Don't know what this is about, but...
Did he?
He did actually lift it a bit.
Interesting.
He went off throttle right before the finish line.
I assume that was an accident.
Don't know why, but...
Maybe he thought he already crossed the line, so he was... Well, I think if he hadn't lifted, he maybe would have been a tenth or so faster. Could have beaten face forwards, maybe. Good news for him is he will have one more chance in this qualifying session, at least, maybe even 2, depending on how many tires he has left. Currently on board with Pixel of Chaos, who's now going down to turn 10 as well, so yeah, the most difficult corner of this track, I would say. Navigated very nicely, very early on the power. You can see him passing one of the Mercedes on the left hand side, letting him through very nicely. Good to see. The fundamentals are already there for most of these drivers. You can see they are following the rules nicely in qualifying, not blocking other drivers. 107.5 from Pixel. I think that's half a second down on what Rico just did.
Yeah, and Face Forwards lost it in the same corner than the Williams driver. I think, is it a Williams, which already is out of the qualifying session?
Could be an no, it's a Williams, you're right, yeah. Williams Alpine, very difficult to tell apart on the color, but yeah, I think it's a Williams. And Pixel, 129.752, P13.
As Jill Valentine invalidates after going off track.
He's on an outlap, so it shouldn't matter.
He spun on an outlap.
Menace Man,
obviously.
Apparently purple in sector 2. 29.6 right now, 2 times the next driver. Actually, look how close between P3 and P10. Like, this is a very, very close grid. In the midfield pack especially. Menace Man now, 28, I think. 28.9! Jumps into second place.
Looks very, very competitive in the midfield, I have to say.
Yeah, Menace Man just jumped from 11th to 2nd, so you can... That's how close it is. One good lap and you can jump up so many places. Granted, he did gain a lot of time actually, so his banker lap must have been... Well, either his banker lap wasn't very good or the lap he just did wasn't very, very strong. Kaze improves his fastest time, 28.4, 5 tenths faster than anyone else. Comet Cup 29.0 P4 for the Haas driver. For Jonathan coming out the final corner as well, I think was up by 3 tenths, so he could be going to 28s as well. And yes, he does, 28.7 from Jonathan. We've got Adam coming into the final corner as well. Let's see if he can improve on his lap time. Currently P9 for the Mercedes driver. But I think he's going to the pits. Yes, he is. Okay. We've got Jules Valentine on the lap. Let's watch him. Currently in P12. Up by a 10th in the first sector. Oh, but he's touched the curb. Is he out of the qualifying? No, he's not.
Absolutely bottled it. After
just about got away with that one. Lap is ruined, but he can still get back to the pits. I assume he has rearing damage, with how heavily he just went into the barrier. So he should probably just get safely back to the pits, get that fixed, and go out again for one more lap. His teammate PC Willy also on the lap right now, up by 3 tenths in the first sector. You can see how
very, very clean so far, as he is, I think, a no assist driver.
Yeah, he's you can see that he used to be a very, very strong driver who just stopped basically stopped playing the game. So you can see that the racing lines is still there. He's not forgotten any of that. It's just getting used to the game again for him, I would say. So you can see that yeah, look at the lines he's taking. Very, very good lines. See him also going over the curb here. 4 tenths up in the second sector. Could be going up to like P4, P5, P3 even. Yeah, he's exactly 4 tenths behind Management in P3. So let's see if PC Willy can put himself in the top 3. DS open to the line, 128.714 P2 for NLR PC Willy. We've also got Marcelli on the lap. I think he is the only one right now. Currently in last place, a full second behind his teammate, so the Aston Martin drivers not looking too strong right now. But of course they can still improve, they can also make up the time in the race. Goes very wide on the exit of turn 11 there. I think he's abandoning the... Oh, Adam is disconnected! Can I invite him back in, or...? Yes, I can. Good. Thankfully, the invite system does allow for that now. They've, it didn't used to. Codemasters have changed that, thankfully.
Oh! As I watched one of the Mercedes of Tarante, who spins on the entry of turn 10, going on the outside curb and absolutely losing it on the outlap, probably causing because of cold tires, I think.
Yeah, cold tires on this track as well, very very difficult to deal with. I think round about after turn 10 is when they finally get in a proper temperature window most of the time. Of course, depends on the compound and how aggressively you're driving.
Difficult condition. It's always difficult to judge outlap ride for conserving the tires or heating them up properly. And yeah, as you watch him going down the main start-finish straight to start his lap, probably his final lap of this qualifying session.
We've got BS Gabri up by 3/10, so he could jump up into about P4, depending on if he can find more time in the final sector, maybe even a P3, beating his teammate Jonathan. And there we go, 28.815, P4 for BS Gabri. Now letting the Ferrari of, I believe that is KSA past. No, KSA is actually spun after turn 3! The pole sitter, does he have damage? I'm not sure, but even if he doesn't, he will have to, well, he will have 1 tires if he goes another lap. Yeah, this could cost him pole position if somebody can find a bit of time still in the final run. 2 minutes to go, so this will definitely be the final run for everyone. Nobody will do 2 more, I'm pretty sure. Taranda just about to enter the final sector, let's see. He's up, or he's down by 24,000 of a second. So not able to improve on his last lap time, but he can, well, he wasn't down by much, so he could maybe improve in the final sector if he made a mistake there on his last lap. And there we go, out of the final corner, DRS will be open for the Mercedes driver up to the line. It's gonna be a 29.193, improves by 36 thousandths, but it doesn't improve his position, he stays in P9. Sean Moole is up by half a second in the first sector alone. Currently in P13. So he could, he could jump up quite some way. Half a second in the first sector would...
This could bring him right up the order.
Yeah, someone in the top 10. Pixel is now in P7. I think he's just crossed the line to complete that lap as well. Guppy in the pits. KSA, is he about... Yeah, KSA is starting on a lap. The pole sitter will go one more time. Well, the current pole sitter. Can somebody take that pole position away from KSA? Down to turn 1. Down to 3rd gear. Short shift to 4 for more traction. To 5th even on the exit. Still almost loses the car. That is how difficult the traction is on this game this year. Braking for turn 4. Maybe misses the apex slightly. Short shift to 5th on the exit. Very aggressive short shifting. Down by a 10th in the first sector. So I think those 1 tires are affecting his lap time. Oh, now he's gone off and I think that's his lap. Well, it's still valid, but I think the lap is ruined anyway. Man is man. Let's see, he's currently in P5. He's the furthest up I can see on a lap. Marcelio's retired from the session. Let's see.
And I think Jonathan got hold up by PCB leader. Oh no, he's on an outlap as well.
PCB and Jonathan both about to start a lap, yep. Man is man up by a 10th in the first sector. Might challenge for a top 3. He would need a half a second to get pole position, so he would have to find a lot of time in the 2nd and 3rd sector. We're past the 0 minute mark. BS Gabri and Tarande are finished. They cannot start any more laps. Pixel of Chaos in the pits as well, so he will not be improving either.
So we're watching Jules Valentine into turn 10. Nice and tidy.
Menace Man was up by a 10th after sector 2. I think Rick would jumped up to 5th place, 28.886. I missed him, sorry about that. Menace Man doesn't improve, he stays in P6. His teammate behind him, Yoshi, stays in P15 as well. Jules Valentine is making his way to the final corner. Gromit Cup to jump into 2nd place, 28.632.
Impressive.
Jules Valentine, 29.183 P11. Jonathan's down by 6 seconds. What about PC Willy? The game will show me the deltas. We'll have to wait until he crosses the line. Can PC Willy steal pole position away from KSA? He's the final driver still on a lap. Nobody else will improve. Oh, and he spun out of the final corner! And that's it! Qualifying is over. KSA takes pole position ahead of Gromit Cup and PC Willy. I have to say, Gromit Cup is not one I would have expected up there, but he's proven me wrong. Jonathan as well, I think 28.7, very strong lap for him as well. Also, how close it is from P3 to...
It actually is really, really close, really competitive grid we have today.
Yeah, P3 to P11 is not even 3/10.
Yeah, that's really, really close.
I've seen PSGL grids less close like that. It's crazy. I mean, a very strong letter from KSA as well. I think he was about 2/10 out of Gromit Cup, who himself had about a 10th on PC Willy. Yeah. Roughly, okay, so yeah.
Bahrain takes pole. KSA on pole position ahead of Gromit Cup and PC Willy. That's the top 3 guys. As we go into the race, Felix, what do you think will be the strategy? 1 or 2 stop?
I'm definitely thinking 1 stop. This game, I think there's not a single track on this game that isn't a 1 stop. I think it's all medium hard, without exceptions.
As the soft tire degrades way too early and is not fast enough to make the 2 stop work. And even the medium tires, which are lasting quite long. And yeah, the hard, I think, is really, really consistent. Yeah, hopefully we will see a very actionful race. Hopefully not too many safety cars and real and obviously fair racing.
Yeah, I think that's the main thing we're looking for. Fair racing. Close racing we'll definitely see, I'm pretty sure, after how close qualifying is. Also, thank you Alex in the chat, letting me know. It's Adam Fishko, that's how you're supposed to pronounce it. I was just saying Adam all qualifying. Yeah, I struggle with Polish names as, well, I think most of us struggle with Polish names, to be fair. It's difficult to pronounce. I'm thinking most people start in the mediums. The chances of an early safety car are definitely higher in Division 2 than there would be in Division 1. So you will see less hard tires on the start, I'm pretty sure. Some people might even go for soft. I know Pixel really likes to start on the soft tire. Just make up positions until the first safety car, which according to him will always come.
Yeah, it doesn't look like that someone is on soft tires, all on medium or hard tires, as it looks.
I'm definitely seeing, I think that's hards on Adam's car, mediums in the Ferrari in front. Oh, indeed, yeah, mostly mediums, a few hards, no softs. We've got mediums for the entire top 4, then Adam and Rico, Facewards and Pixel, the only hards in the top 10. Interesting that Pixel has gone for the hards, which is, well, the complete opposite from what he usually does. I think KSA also is one who usually starts on softs, but I guess if you're in P1, you have nothing to gain from being on the soft. You can't overtake anyone if you're already in the first position. Drivers are now lining up to finish the formation lap. And we're ready for the first race start in Division 2. Oh, the Mercedes...
What is the Merc doing?
I really hope he doesn't have to start like that. Okay, yeah, he can teleport in the correct position, good. Yeah, thankfully everyone is lined up correctly. The 5 red lights are on. And it's lights out. It's not lights out.
Well, it is, but the race
now it is lights out. And Adam is gonna drive for penalty for a jump start.
Oh,
what has happened to him? He is teleporting all over the place, but KSA and Jonathan are side by side in the turn 1. Who can take the lead? Jonathan on the inside with a slight advantage, maybe to the outside now for turn 2. Oh, and KSA just about kept the car, pointing in the right direction, but Jonathan now with a better exit thanks to that half spin from KSA. Takes the lead of the race, a Haas and Alpine spinning in the background. Tarande, Jules Valentine, Facewards are all out of the race after the first 3 corners, and we've got a virtual safety car. We can now Just look through
So
the
we have
order,
full
breathe
course
for a
safety
moment.
car.
Full course safety car as well now, yep, just came out of the pits. What a start from Jonathan, up to first position. Starting in 4th. KSA of course then losing the lead. Comet Cup down 2 places, so he had a pretty bad start as well. What I would like to know is what happened to Tarande, Jules Valentine and Face Forwards. I didn't see them, I was focused on the front.
Yeah, I was on board on Jules Valentine, who got tangled up and spun around by some other car, which I don't know quite know which one it was. But yeah, got it for these 3 drivers, which couldn't even make lap 1 in the first race. Which obviously could decide the championship, because every point is crucial, as you know. And yeah.
Yeah, very disappointing for those drivers. They would have been hoping to make up places during the race. And now they have no chance of scoring any points anymore. Especially with the safety car as well, even if they had just been able to continue on, just go change the wing. But none of them have that chance anymore. Let's see if anybody else has wing damage, if anyone else decides to go for a pit stop. But it doesn't seem that way. Everybody is staying out. So it was probably just those 3 involved in the carnage. That safety car is also bad news for Adam Szyszko, who now, he would have probably served this drive-through on lap 1. And now he will have to wait until the safety car is over. And he will then be away from the field once again.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what happened there on the start. Probably it was desync or something, but yeah, got it for him that he has a drive-through already. Yeah. Maybe there's another safety car, so he can close up to the field.
Yeah, that will bring him right back into race, of course. Well, he's on hard tires, so he has some strategic options that other drivers will not have. For example, in the position of a Sean Moore or an Ultra Pyro, I would have pitted on lap 1 and gone to mediums, do a medium to the end.
Although you can do, yes. The medium tire is really good, lasting long.
Although it does depend on what tire choice they went with. If they went with a softer tire choice, having 4 softs in qualifying, they would only have 1 medium for the race, so then of course that would not work. Adam and Pixel are now swapping positions. I'm not sure what's happened between those 2. Adam is teleporting quite a bit, so there might be some lag going on there.
Some lag going there,
yeah. Of course, that's always the struggle with crossplay. Hopefully it doesn't cause incidents. I would assume that might be what caused the drive-through penalty for Adam as well. Always tough to deal with for drivers that lag. And but it does come with sim racing, especially on the Formula 1 game when having crossplay enabled, unfortunately. Safety car staying out for 1 more lap, I believe.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, hopefully Codemasters can fix these issues with the lag and the FPS issues on...
oh, Adam spun!
Adam spun, damn.
Under safety car, Adam has lost it, and he is... No! That was lag. Okay,
Jesus.
That's something I have never seen before. That spin looked so real. It's almost impressive from Codemasters.
Well, I could remind you of our race last season at Monza, where were all desynced, and I got taken out because of this desync, which is not what we want to see, especially if you have close racing.
Yeah.
Hopefully Codemasters can fix these issues. That would be very helpful.
Yeah, I'm hoping for F1 2023. I hope. The hope dies last, I guess. Even with Codemaster at this point. George actually just got a 5-second penalty for ignoring yellow flags. I'm not sure what he did. If he tapped someone, if he overtook someone. So, well, he will have to serve that in the pit lane at some point. Adam... Oh, Adam has got wing damage! Yeah, no wing at all for Adam, and now he's retired on track as well. So he's just, rage quit, I'm pretty sure. And he's left the session. So yeah, Adam's race also over. Both Mercedes out of the race. without one racing lap completed. But I believe the safety car will be coming in this lap. And indeed it will. Jonathan will now set the pace, warm up his tires, and try his best to defend against KSA down to turn 1. Can Jonathan once again win the start? Or can KSA fight back against him? As they head into the final corner, Jonathan still weaving. Let's see when he does decide to go. Does he go before or after the final corner? He decides to go late. Now he's gone. Jonathan has restarted the race. And KSA is not anywhere close to him. Actually, he's under pressure from PC with the Grommet Cup as well. Very close. Could be 3 wide into turn 1. Grommet Cup to the outside. PC will in the middle. Grommet Cup switches to the inside. PC will in Grommet Cup side by side into turn 1. PC will very late in the brakes. Attacks KSA around the outside. Gets squeezed off. Grommet Cup now trying to go around. PC will is outside and PC will he's lost it through turn 2. Management are up into P3. What has happened to Grommet Cup as well? Grommet Cup also has spun! Grommet Cup is out of the race! No. How has that happened? He was fine coming off the corner and now halfway down the straight he has spun. Meanwhile, Evac, CZ, Shramul and Yoshi are fighting around P7, 8 and 9. Ultra Pyro trying to get involved, going for a switchback. But he gets blocked off by Yoshi now up the inside. Very close battling here all over the field. Yoshi trying to hang it around the outside as they go side by side down to turn 10. This can only go badly. But they made it work! Somehow, Ghosting are involved as well as EVX has apparently lost it going from the corner. How have they pulled that off without crashing into each other? Side by side through turn 10. Great racing is backed by both drivers. Lovely to see.
Quite aggressive into turn 1 there, but he made it work. As I personally...
Oh, Yoshi's lost it! Through turn 12. And he's down to last position, but he's kept off the wall. No damage at least for the Red Bull driver.
And these driving errors probably caused to having cold tires after the race restart, which isn't very good, but the race is still very long, and these drivers can still, well, Pizivili can prove us that he has the pace to be in the front, as Grommet Cup is obviously out of the race. And yeah, it's looking good for Jonathan right now, which he put it into first position. Can he pull out the gap to Case A? And the menace man behind in third place.
What I'm wondering is who is Ultra Pyro? He is not a driver who's actually in the league, so some driver must have invited him during qualifying. I'll have to look into that after. He hasn't. I mean, he's not done anything wrong, I think, at least. So I don't know if someone has just gone rogue to invite him. But as long as he doesn't take people out, we're fine. I just wanted to mention that he's not actually in the league, so we'll have to figure out what to do about that after the race. For now, I'll just I don't know. I'll just act like he's a normal driver.
Did he join at qualifying?
Yeah, he joined at the end of qualifying at some point. He didn't do a qualifying, never started last, and now he's coming from the field. I guess he's friends with someone who's in the league, and they invited him. KSA is very close to Jonathan. Look at that. He has caught him. Will he go for a move into turn 1? He's not using ES, so I think he'll stay behind for now. Although he might do it on slipstream alone. Look how close he is. Can he send one up the inside? Decides against it. Maybe a switchback though. To turn 1. Oh, nope. No chance. He's lost on the exit. Jonathan once again has a pretty big gap now. Menaceman actually putting him under pressure as well. So those three slightly running away from the field. Although Rico, worth to mention, he's on hard, so he will gain back the time later on mediums perhaps.
As I think he's probably the best position right now, if he can stay right in the DRS train from the top 3 drivers.
Yeah, if Rico manages to break into DRS, that would be really good for him. He's just about outside it right now, so he has to hope maybe for those guys to battle a little bit. But if he can stay with them on hards, he will definitely get them later on mediums. Mannesman also is quite low on ERS compared to the rest in the top 4. They're all on about 70, Mannesman about 30, Rico on about 50. So Mannesman has been pushing hard, trying to get past KSA, but it doesn't seem to have worked out for him. Rico is inside DRS range right now. Now he's back outside of it, so he's not pushing to get into it. He doesn't seem to want to get involved in that DRS train. Otherwise he'd be using more ERS to stay inside. DRS open for KSA now. Can he overtake Jonathan this lap? I think he's just a bit too far behind. Might go for a move into turn 4.
As Pixel gets overtaken by Ultra Pyro on the main straight with the help of DRS and probably some ERS.
Strong exit from Jonathan prevents an overtake from KSA once again. Pixel might come back at Ultra Pyro. He's using ERS, and yes, he will come back around the outside into turn 4. But Ultra Pyro able to brake later than Pixel. Pixel trying to go for a switchback, but he doesn't have the momentum to go for it. Jonathan has lost the lead! And Mannesman up the inside as well. Jonathan might drop down to 3rd. No, contact made. Mannesman does save the car, but he's down to P4 now, behind Rico SK. Gabriel not far behind either. Jonathan, what did he do? He was way ahead of KSA, about 5 or 6 tenths.
Probably lost it on the curve, I didn't see it actually, but it really plays into the hands of Rico, which is now nicely into, well, not nicely, but into DRS range and obviously on this lower tire for now. And he's just out of DRS right now. He has to push, otherwise he's losing DRS.
Yeah, Jonathan is staying inside DRS here.
Almost lost it on the exit on the curb. Nicely
yeah,
done,
both
nice
Jonathan and Rico and Mannesman, in fact, all 3 of them are really pushing now to stay inside the DRS range of the car ahead. And I think KSA will be doing this. Yeah, KSA is also burning his ERS. They are all trying to, well, either brake or stay in the DRS train.
Yeah, it's his chance to lead the race and pull away from the rest of the guys. KSA as he's into the lead back again. And, yeah, he's pulling out a gap.
That whole chaos has also invited BS Gabriel into the fight. He's right in the DRS of Mannesman now. Yellow flags in sector 1 for Pixel, who has lost it coming out of turn 3. He does turn the car on quickly, he's down to P11. But the car seems to be fine. I can't see any major damage on his Ferrari. Yellow flags for Mannesman! Mannesman has lost it! And he's used reset a track as well. Going through, I believe that's turn 7? Yeah, turn 7. Let's see Aston Martin of George pass as well. But I also can't see damage in Red Bull, so all of these drivers seemingly getting away with no damage in these spins and incidents they're having.
PC really is back into 7th position after his spin.
Oh, Rico! What a save coming out of turn 11 there. I mean, you can clearly
like
see who is pushing and who isn't at the moment, yeah.
As he probably is about to attack Jonathan on the main straight with the help of DRS.
Yeah, we're 8 laps into the race, so I think the mediums are at about 30% wear. Maybe 35 something, so they should be losing a bit of pace by now. Which does open the door for Rico to go for a move on Jonathan perhaps, down to turn 1. Not quite, but maybe turn 4. Although we have seen Jonathan be very strong on this exit. And once again, yeah, look how much he's pulling away, but he's lost it! Does recover, but Rico is already alongside and does have DS, well, so surely Rico will now get the move done. Up the inside. And Jonathan doesn't have any answer. Rico up into P2 and can now start chasing down KSA.
As PC really has a slide on the exit of turn 4, I believe.
Yeah, PC Willy is, well, he's on the comeback drive now. He is already back up to P7. Not too far behind the leading group, actually. Pyro has been closing in on BS Gabriel as well.
Oh, and the Aston Martin car of Marsilio has front wing damage.
Does he?
That he got front wing damage.
Yeah, you're right. The front left end plate is missing. We'll have to wait and see if he decides to make a pit stop, or if he decides to carry on. I'm not sure how long he's kept that front wing damage for. Because I didn't notice when he got it. He must have had an incident with another
Might
driver
be
at some
off leg
point.
or something, yeah.
That would explain why he's so far away from the field right now. Jonathan is out of ERS. Yeah, he's below 10%. His red light is flashing. Gabri behind him, his teammate, also on about 20% ERS, and not much ERS for both McLaren drivers right now.
As the management goes past the Aston Martin driver for 9th position.
Yeah, management also on a comeback drive. He was running in the top 3 earlier. He's now down to P9. So we can see both management and PC will be making their way from the field. Marcello indeed now in the pit lane. I'm expecting hard tires to go to the end. And of course a front wing change. He's actually going to another set of mediums. Interesting. So definitely at least a 2-stop for Marcello in this race.
Yeah, well, he could go to the end on hard tires, but probably he's expecting another safety car. Maybe.
I think even in that case he would have wanted him with the hards though, so he can pit for mediums on the safety car. So
yeah,
I'm a bit surprised that he went for mediums.
As he brakes too late in the one. Cold tires. But yeah, the race is still very, very long. Anything could happen.
Yeah, I think this race is far from decided.
5 seconds behind.
But the favorites do seem to be Rico and KSA, as Rico has actually broken the DRS to Jonathan.
But still, the McLaren's looking very good in 3rd and 4th position.
Yeah, McLaren as a team, very, very strong. Could be one to look out for Constructors' Championship. 2 drivers right up there at the moment, very close on pace as well. Although they are now being pressured by Ultra Pyro in the AlphaTauri. Who, I mean, well, he started last. And he's now up to P5, so he's been doing quite well. Of course, also on the hard compound tire. So he would likely, he could end up on the podium here. Very, very good chance of ending up on the podium. Or even further up the field. Wouldn't rule out anything for him.
Oh, as KSA slides out of turn 10. Almost losing it.
Yeah, Rico's just gained about 3-4 tenths, I think, coming out of turn 10. Ultra Pyro is already attacking BS Gabri, who's defending the inside. Yeah, he's already going defensive into the corner, so he definitely feels pressured by the AlphaTauri driver.
As by now, he should have the better tire, the faster tire.
Yeah, definitely. The hards will be faster at this stage in the stint. That's why Jonathan might help.
Stops, I have to say. Stops
Jonathan,
around leg 13 or 14.
Yeah, I'm thinking about lap 13 for the mediums for most drivers. Jonathan actually opting not to give DRS to his teammate. I would have probably done it in this situation to help my teammate out, defend against the AlphaTauri, but apparently he doesn't need it. Leads into turn 1. Ultra Pyro!
Big dive bomb, but...
And contact made on the exit. And they're both off. Evac CZ will go through. That was a very late dive bomb from Ultra Pyro, who's now retired on track as well.
That's strange.
Yeah, that's the, well, not our retirement. Out of 12 drivers in this race.
But I have to say, BS Gabri really aware of his situation there, as he went wide on purpose into turn 1 to avoid a collision.
Yeah, you could see the open lobby experience coming in from BS Gabri. Just turning out of the corner. That incident might be one to look at for the stewards, because I think on the corner entry there's no question that Pyro was over aggressive, but then on the corner exit, yeah. I'm not sure what happened if
braked way too late, he was way too fast to couldn't make the corner.
Yeah, I think Pyro, I don't know if Pyro went out too wide and caused the contact, or if Gabri just came back over after having turned to the outside for the first time. So we might end up seeing penalties being given out. I'm sure we'll see some penalties being given out post-race, seeing how many DNFs and spins there have been. But for now, BS Gabri, he's still running P5. Jonathan, the first one. with a, planned pit stop. We did that at Marcelli on the pits earlier.
And the Menace Man in the Red Bull pits also.
Both going to hards, I assume, which will then be going to the end. So they're going for an undercut. Undercuts on hards, I think they aren't strong, because these hards will take almost the entire lap to warm up. So I'm saying Jonathan will probably drop behind. He had a pretty big gap to the cars behind because of the incident between Pyro and Gabri, so he should be fine.
As Rico closes up to the lead guy.
Oh yeah, Rico almost in DRS range, and he hasn't even made his pit stop to mediums yet. Rico is looking really strong. Yeah, I think Rico, he will... once he gets started on those mediums, he will be chasing down KSA. And I think it should be a relatively easy move for him then, because he will have a massive tire advantage.
As we also have to mention the Williams driver in P3. Don't know quite what to call his name, but he made up 11th position from the start, and he's now in 3rd position. Probably looking for a podium there.
Yeah, I mean, I think his name is pronounced Ewek. Oh, as KSA is in the pits, leader in the pits, Rico fast lap at the same time. Yeah, Ewek has quietly made his way up to P3. I haven't seen much of him, but he's just...
stays out for another lap on the medium tires. Also, probably good tire wear.
KSA, Gabri, PC Willy, all in the pits at the same time. George staying out as well. KSA comes out in free air, I think. Well, he has his teammate ahead of him, but I'm sure Pixel will let him through to, well, actually Pixel might give him DRS for the first raid, and then let him through later on once KSA's tires are warm. To help his teammates in the fight from... Pixel will actually be really crucial in this. If Pixel can come out ahead of Rico after the pit stops, he could help his teammate win the race. We've seen it happen quite a few times in eSport earlier. In F1 eSports, with teammates staying out to block championship opponents. And I think this is a perfect opportunity for Ferrari to copy that strategy. As Pixel, evidently, is pretty much exactly one pit stop behind the leading pack. Of course, Rico does have a few more laps to drive out a gap against Pixel. And obviously Pixel also has his own race, so it'll be interesting to see if Ferrari do decide to go for that strategy in the first race already. Right now there's no big on-track battles. Menace Man actually and PC Wooly are quite close. They've both made their pit stop. Well, PC Wooly just came out of the pits. E-Bike is now in the pits. I'm expecting George and Yoshi to pit this lap as well. I think it's time. Those mediums will be absolutely destroyed at this point. Yep, George in the pit as well. He will be serving that 5-second time penalty. And Yoshi is just about to go past the pit lane as well. Does he stay out? No, he doesn't. He's also coming in. Just as I thought. We've got Ewek leaving the pits behind Jonathan in P6.
And after Ewek serving his 5-second penalty, we have no the time penalties at the moment.
Yeah, also surprising.
It's also looking very good.
I think Pixel's well, either KSA is past Pixel or Pixel let him through. One of the two scenarios just happened. I was watching the pits at the time, so I'm not sure what happened. Although you can see KSA is significantly faster.
At the moment.
Yeah, it's significantly faster. Already over the full second to Pixel. But yeah, I was definitely expecting some time penalties. Of course, Bahrain, I would say Bahrain is one of the easier tracks for track limits. But still, you definitely do see some penalties once in a while around here. So the drivers have been doing a very good job with that, to avoid going over track limits. I mean, I can have a look at the race map to see how many warnings there actually have been. Well, there's a lot of collision warnings. Not that many track limit warnings.
Very pushing at the moment. He's pushing quite hard. Only 2/10 of his fastest lap. Last lap, which is looking very good.
Wait, who were you on board with?
Quite, no? What did you say?
Who were you on board with? Who was close to his fastest lap?
Rico.
Oh yeah, Rico, of course, yeah, Rico. He will be
As
pitting.
KSA puts in the fastest lap, 2/10 faster than the last fastest lap.
I think Rico will be coming into the pits very soon. And the crucial question is, will he come out ahead or behind Pixel? Or will Pixel even stay out? So, well, I think he will probably come out ahead of Pixel. Just about. So the strategy that I thought of
I think he will be ahead.
will likely not work for Ferrari.
Or maybe he stays out long and goes onto a soft set.
That is an option. I've seen people try that. It usually doesn't work, but maybe it will in this case, you never know. It's always very driving style, very stop dependent whether those softs can even work in the race at all. They overheat very quickly on this game, the soft tires, and they also wear out very quickly. But if you do get them in the window, they are much faster than the mediums and hards. Let's see if Rico decides to pit. No, he's still staying out. The Alfa Romeo driver. What about Sean Moole? Sean Moole and Pixel are the other two drivers who started on hards. Lap 16 is where I thought they would pit. Sean Moole will pit this lap. Interesting to see while they come out, how much time they can then make up compared to other drivers. Pixel is still staying out.
As he is 25 seconds behind the lead driver at this moment. The
Sean
gap
Moole will
isn't
come out
opening
close
up.
to his teammate, I think. Somewhat close. Maybe just behind BS Gabri actually. You can see the McLaren going past the Williams down to turn 1, and there we go. BS Gabri up into P6, Sean Moole into P7. Sean Moole, when he has 12 laps on these medium tires, might end up somewhere in the top 5 if he can catch his teammate. He will have the faster tire for the rest of this race. PC Bully and Menace Man, well, they are still running in P8 and 9, so those comebacks, maybe not quite gone to plan, although they aren't far behind the rest of the field right now. You can see the group of Sean Moole and BS Guppy right ahead of them. PC Bully also a lot of ERS in his car, so he has the chance to overtake people. As Gabri has gone off, no, Sean Moole actually was gone off at turn 10. Allowing Menace Man to get within 1 second of him. For Sean Moole on those cold tires. The gap between Rico and KSA is pretty much exactly 22 seconds, and Rico is still staying out. He is staying out very long. What about Pixel? Is Pixel finally coming into the pits? Yes, he is. So Rico is the last one of the hard starters who will make a pit stop. Jonathan moves up into the podium positions. And Pixel is going on to mediums. Menace Man is indeed within DRS of Sean Moole. PC Bully actually has lost DRS to Menace Man. Pixel is coming out in P9, P10. Marcelio is spun at turn 12. But he thankfully is moving once again. No wing damage, I believe.
Keeps it out of the wall.
Pixel comes out just ahead of George, but he's on cold tires, so George does have a chance to pass the Ferrari man. Although once those tires do more, Pixel should be much faster on those mediums.
As I'm looking for Rico pitting this lap.
It is time. He really should pit. Unless he wants to go for softs. I think if he's going for softs, there is a reason not to pit. But now he's coming in.
Pits. He's coming in now.
What will it be? Mediums? Also, I'm expecting mediums. Softs is too early still.
It's too early for softs.
We'll wait and see.
As it's the medium tire for him.
Yep, very late pit stop. You can see those hards. Lots of graining, lots of wear signs on the tire. KSA will almost certainly come out in the lead, but by how much? Can Rico chase him down? There he is. KSA takes the lead of the race, but Rico is not far behind. And he will have a significant tire advantage.
In our hands now.
He will have a big tire advantage for the last 10 laps of this race. Will lose maybe another second on those cold tires, but then he can start pushing He has so much ES as well in his Alfa Romeo. 95% KSA on 30. I think Rico has a very, very good chance to take this race away from KSA. Yellow flags in turn 11 once again. Marcelio once again, but he's also once again captain off the wall. Meanwhile, Sean Moore,
as Rico went on the curb on turn 10, losing the car almost, going into the wall.
that just cost him about 2 seconds, I would say, yeah. And that could be KSA's, that could be the difference in this race. That could be KSA's chance to win this race. These tiny mistakes can be so crucial. But what a strategic battle it has been between those two. Very interesting to see it play out. Even if they aren't battling on track constantly, Rico's still warming up those tires at the end of the lap. So apparently still not fully up to temperature as he was still weaving there across the, well, just before the final corner. Sean Moore is also catching up to B.S. Gabri. Just about inside the DRS range as they go, oh, just about outside the DRS range actually as they go through the final corner. But I think next lap he could have a chance at moving himself into the top 5.
As Rico is losing time on the much faster tire.
Interesting, so he might be really struggling on those mediums. Fastest lap from Pixel of Chaos actually, who's down
Really,
on P9.
really strong pace from KSA at the moment. As Rico can't really close the gap.
Yeah, not what I expected. I mean, Rico was keeping up on hards earlier, so now on mediums you would think he should be faster, but apparently not.
But he's closing up by a tiny margin, but it has to be more. It has to be more at this stage with only, yeah,
9 laps to go and 3.5 seconds.
No, not that much.
Of course, he needs to both catch and overtake, which is easier said than done. Overtaking, KSA can very well defend his position. And if he tries to do that, I think it will be a struggle for Rico. Especially if he's running out of laps, if he's feeling the pressure. You want to get him as early as possible, so you can also build a gap, because those mediums, I mean, he did pit very late, so they should be fine. But I think maybe towards the end of the stint, those hards could be... The pace difference certainly will be less in favor of the mediums. Or not as much of an advantage for him anymore.
As Simul is right behind B.S. Gabri. Can he make the move into turn 1? I think
Bit too far away, 7/10, yeah.
Far away, yes.
Maybe
yes.
into turn 4 on the second DRS straights. Of course, that's the advantage here of having 2 DRS straights right after each other. Can come
and
close.
Being on the faster tire, the medium tire.
Yeah, you can get close in the first straight, and now good exit out of turn 2.
Yeah, but he's too far behind.
Yeah, next lap I think he will be close enough, because he's definitely closing in. But he needs to be within 3 or 4 tenths at least. Yellow flags for Pixel of Chaos! Losing it out of turn 2 and 3. And he's stuck! Pixel of Chaos is stuck in the gravel! He's reset the track. And he's going again. I think the rules actually say that you can't use reset the track, but I think in that situation he might get away with it. Considering that he was quite literally unable to move. Oh, he's almost lost it again, so the gravel on those tires really affecting his grip. Yoshi is closing in the fight for the final point. Sean Moore has gotten past B.S. Gabri into turn 11, round the outside.
Going side by side now.
Can B.S. Gabri fight back? Not through here at least. He's had a look up the inside, but that would have been a very ambitious move.
B.S. Gabri is out of ERS at the moment.
Fast lap from Rico. Rico is now starting to close the gap to KSA.
But he did close the gap by a half a second this lap. Probably a bit more.
B.S. Gabri's gonna try to attack Sean Moore once again, but he's completely out of ERS, so I think he doesn't have a chance, even with the ERS advantage. Yellow flags for Yoshi, and that ends the fight for P10 as Yoshi has lost it coming out of turn 11.
And also lost his front wing.
Oh, he's lost his front wing as well.
Yes.
But, completely lost his front wing, yeah, true. Could open the opportunity for Marcelio to to get a position here and move himself off of last place.
That's Rico. spite of another half a second of the gap to KSA in front.
Also,
Now
what I've missed, Ewek is right on the rear of Jonathan. He's caught him. Not something I'd expected, but he is he has a 2-lap tire advantage, and he's managed to catch up.
But no ERS, so overtaking could be difficult.
Yeah, Jonathan has a bit more ERS, but 30% is enough to defend maybe 1 or 2 times. After that, he will be in trouble.
2 seconds. And he's closing in, almost losing the car there, or going onto the.
You can also see he's not using ERS. Barely, he's still on 80%. Meanwhile, KSA on 30. Big ERS advantage for Rico, big tire advantage for Rico. He just needs to close that gap. This could be so close going into the final lap of this race. Meanwhile, Ewek is very close to Jonathan. Can he go for a move in turn 4? Of course, we have seen Jonathan. Yeah, look how strong Jonathan is on that exit. He's just gained 2 tenths. He has really figured out the perfect line, perfect traction for that corner.
And SPC.
Yeah, no flags. Popsy really once again at turn 3, same corner as it was last time.
Well, I have to say this exit distraction is very difficult to master it. And with a quite aggressive strategy on aerodynamics, it can be very tricky to get it right there.
Yeah, I agree. Turn 2 and 3 at Bahrain, I would say it's a nightmare on traction. Yoshi gets a penalty for speeding in the pit lane. And he will drop to last position, but I'm pretty sure he will certainly drop behind Marcelio.
As Rico is now under 1.5 seconds behind the lead driver. So we have a race on our hands there on these last laps.
Yeah, we have a fight for P3 and for P1 here, coming up. Ewek against Jonathan.
Ewek has to save some ERS to eventually make it an overtake on Jonathan.
Yeah, he's gonna have to be aggressive to get an overtake done without you. Yeah, he's burning ERS despite being 5 tenths behind. Where he has a big overspeed here. Can he go for move in turn 1? Yes, he can. Jonathan still on the outside. Who has DRS for the next straight? That could be crucial. Jonathan has DRS and he sees. Ewek sees that. He has no ERS left. He can see the red light and he will come once again round the outside. Side by side through turn 4. Jonathan hangs on around the outside and goes back up into P3. Stays on the podium for now. Very good battle between those two.
That fight isn't over.
Yep, Ewek will certainly have another go. 5 laps to go in this race. Rico almost within the ERS range. 92% ERS.
Yeah, he's saving it all up for the final overtake.
Very good driving, very smart driving from Rico. Menaceman is also very close to Gabri in the fight for P6 here. So there's still lots to play for late on in this race. We've got Marcelio in the pits now. He will now be lapped as well by the leaders, KSA and Rico. So yeah, both Marcelio and Yoshi have been lapped in this race. He's going into soft tires, so he might try and go for a fast lap of the race attempt, which is currently a 131.109 from Rico. Ewek can't go for a move into turn 1. What about Menaceman? Can he go for a move? He's also very low in ERS, but so is BS Gabri.
As Rico is now under the 1 second gap.
Yep, now the fight is on for the race win. Menaceman, very strong exit off turn 2, went for a switchback and he's gonna go for a move on BS Gabri up the inside in turn 4. And I think he does have it done. Although BS Gabri is still alongside, Menaceman leaves him the space, but he gets traction on exit and goes ahead of the McLaren driver up into P6 for Menaceman.
Sim Williams is looking for a very good result there on the opening round of this season. Ewek gaining 10 positions from the start until now, and Simol, his teammate, all 6 positions at the moment.
Yeah, of course, Ewek, he DNF'd earlier on qualifying. So perhaps
As
if that hadn't
Rico
happened to him, he
is
could have...
right out of DRS range. Now he's using, but it's not quite enough to get the DRS on the straight, I think, as he brakes very late.
Yeah, Rico, he's now just hovering on that 1.2, 1.1. He might have to burn a bit of ES just to get inside the DRS range, and then he can close up to very close behind KSA and go for the move.
As Ewek is close behind Jonathan.
Yeah, but he can't really use any of his ES because he has none. But he is doing it anyway, he's gonna go up the inside.
He's still using it, and he's going down the
Oh,
inside.
very late on the brakes. Jonathan going for a switchback. Ewek has the
Very nice
DRS.
executed.
And Jonathan, oh, he went wide. That might be an illegal overtake. He might have to give that back to Ewek. Let's see. Ewek is gonna go up the inside and pull ahead slightly from the corner. So if there was an illegal overtake, it's now gone. Jonathan and Ewek still side by side. Jonathan just about stays ahead. What a battle this has been. And they're coming up now as Ewek goes up the inside. Whoa.
Very risky move.
Pixel also on the pits, also I assume going for a fast lap attempt.
As Rico close in again. Have DRS hopefully this lap.
He's just about inside the 1 second gap. Oh, slight mistake.
KSA is using.
Yeah, KSA is trying to keep him outside. KSA is trying to stay away from him and he's done it. One more lap.
He's done it yet again.
No DRS for Rico for at least one more straight. Yellow flags in sector 2, who's that? Nobody. What? Okay. We just had yellow flags for no reason. At least I couldn't see anyone who had crashed or spun.
I think it was for BS Gabri, didn't it? It was for BS Gabri, huh? No.
No, BS Gabri is still right behind Menace Man, where he was earlier. Yoshi in the pits once again.
As Rico finally has DRS. Second DRS straight. As he now puts on the pressure on KSA.
Yeah, I think now we have to stay on board
the race.
with the leaders. It's coming down to the wire.
As Ewek is very close behind Jonathan for P3. Almost punting him off track, as I have to say.
Yeah, we've got 3 very close battles. Gabri is still on the back of Menace Man. Ewek is on the back of Jonathan and Rico. In the 5 P1 yellow flag, looks like the one for, I think,
flag, yeah.
Marcelio, who I think was slowing down to give a gap to the drivers battling, which is a nice thing to do from him.
And Rico is now very close behind, only 4/10.
KSA has 20% ERS, so he can maybe defend for one straight. Maybe. It's gonna be so difficult for KSA to defend this. Rico, only 3/10 behind heading into the final corner, and I think Rico will get us moved down to turn 1. He's not using the ERS, he's just using the DRS for now. I think he's trying to play it smart, he's gonna go for the move into turn 4 maybe. Or just not use the ERS if he doesn't need to. He's up the inside, into turn 1. Goes slightly deep, KSA still down the outside. Gets ahead through turn 2, but Rico will have the ERS advantage on the second DRS straight. Can KSA defend this for one more lap maybe? Up the inside for Rico, but he can't get it done. KSA stays in P1 for now. Ewek and Jonathan are also side by side through turn 1 just now. Jonathan going for a switchback. Now through turn 2. Ewek pulls ahead, but Jonathan with the DRS, can he come back at Ewek? Or has Ewek finally gotten that podium position? And it seems like he has. Jonathan trying to go for a switchback once again, and he's getting it done! What a move by Jonathan, they're still side by side. And whoa, what a battle, and Ewek still not giving up.
Loses it out of turn 10.
Oh no,
This
Rico!
can't be true. Rico loses it on traction.
And that is almost certainly the race win for KSA. Gabri and Menaceman also battling now side by side. Switchback from Menaceman side by side down turn 10. No, Gabri with a terrible exit and Menaceman pulls ahead. Amazing racing here in the dying laps of this Bahrain Grand Prix.
As now Jonathan also has no ERS left, which could play into the hands of Ewek, I have to say, but yeah, overtaking without ERS is also very difficult.
This has been some of the best racing I have seen in recent memory, I can't lie. The racing standards have been very, very
good
strong
racing
here.
and fair racing, I have to say. As KSA goes onto the final lap in the lead with a comfortable lead of 4 seconds.
These drivers are definitely not scared to go for the move, and they're being rewarded for it. Ewek, is he gonna send on Jonathan into turn 1? Yes, he is. But once again, Jonathan, I assume, will come back at him into turn 4. As he has done every single lap.
As he almost loses it.
Gabri up the inside of Mannesman into turn 1 as well. He gets it done, but Mannesman switch back around the outside. Gabri stays ahead. What about Jonathan Ewek?
For turn 4.
Jonathan.
Switchback, beautiful move.
Once again, second lap in a row, and contact is made. They're both off.
Oh no.
Oh no! And that ends that beautiful battle for the podium places. Sean Moole inherits the podium.
Podium position, making up 8 places from the start.
Jonathan gets a track limit penalty, which I assume it will be. Well, the track limit penalty will most certainly be removed. The incident we'll have to look at. Gabri goes wide, X16 turn 9. Well, this has now turned into a battle for P4.
BS Gabri right now, yeah. Can he make the move on the last DRS straight?
Fast left from Pixel, 30.7.
But the Menaceman has a lot of ERS left and he goes. BS Gabri goes defensive. With the Menaceman probably going for a switchback.
The amount of switchbacks we are seeing. Almost went for another one there. Yeah, switchbacks are seemingly really strong in this race. But on the final lap, actually, I didn't even notice KSA has crossed the line. A point I missed the leader crossing the line. KSA has won the race. Rico finished second.
The goes. Jesus, very close.
Sean Moole finished on the podium, and Menaceman and Gabri will run down to the line. Who will finish in P4? This is so close. I think Menaceman has just about got him. Wow!
Brilliant photo finish from these guys.
Jonathan in P6.
The first race of the season.
And Ewek actually takes P6 away from him because of the penalty. PC will in P8, George in P9, and then Pixel will finish in P10, the final points position. What a race this has been! I mean, I am seriously impressed with the racing we've seen today. I think we can all be very, very happy with what the drivers have put on show for us tonight. Congratulations to our raceman KSA. Brico SK, I mean, also a great race from him. That one little mistake cost him in the end, but he pushed KSA all the way to the end. And Sean Moole stayed out of trouble, kept it clean, and picked up a podium when the other drivers made mistakes. And there we go. That is your top 3, and they will now be making their way onto the podium. Sean Moole gets the Driver of the Day award. I believe he started down the field as well, so that's likely why he gained a lot of places in this race. But here we have the podium. KSA wins the first race in the season, and I would say announces himself. Well, KSA and Rico, I think, those are the 2 drivers to look out for the rest of the season. We might be in for a brilliant title fight between those 2, and that would be lovely to see.
Really nice race. Fun to watch, I have to say. Brilliant racing. Fair overall. Some moves weren't that fair, but yeah, we have to look into that. And I think these guys did still a brilliant job. And yeah, congrats to KSA, who wins the first race.
Yeah, I mean, look at the gap that KSA and Rico have pulled. 22 seconds between KSA and Sean Moole. Of course, helped by the fact that there was lots of battling going on in the midfield. So they will have lost lots of time from that.
Yeah, well, the last lap incident between Ewek and BS Gabri there. Ewek and Jonathan, I have to say. Jonathan that was lead McLaren. But yeah, still, 22 seconds. Is quite a margin in 29 laps.
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed that race, and I think we can all say that we're looking forward to the next race. Well, Division 1 on Saturday, but I think that mile will probably not be commentated. I'm not sure if I can get anyone to commentate on Division 1. But the next race that will most definitely be commentated is next Division 2 race next Wednesday at Saudi Arabia. And I think Saudi Arabia is a track that always delivers in league racing for great action and an interesting race. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed today's stream. And unless you have anything to say, I'll be ending it now.